Good evening, dear participants. Welcome you all for the second day, the International Research Methodology Program for Quantitative Research. And today is the second day. Without taking much time, let me invite Mr. Nirbhaya Kumar to welcome the gathering.
Good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to all participants and faculty members joining us on the third session of the 10-day International Research Methodology Workshop on Quantitative Research Methods, held in collaboration with RC25, Sociology of Sports, Indian Sociological Society, Southeastern University of Sri Lanka, Ulubi, IIDM, Tamil Nadu, organized by Southfield College, Darjeeling, West Bengal, JP College of Arts and Science, Tensaki, Tenkasi, Tamil Nadu, Standard College, Manipur. I am Nirbhaya Kumar, a research scholar from the Department of Education, Central University of Karnataka, and it is my honor to extend a special welcome to our distinguished resource person, Dr. Norbe Paul, sir, for today's session. Sir completed his master's from the University of Pune and joined DePaul School of Social Work as an academician in 2004. His current research focuses on displacement with a particular interest in social and cultural capital, marginalization, human rights, and community development. From 2015 to 17, he was an editor of DePaul Journal of Scientific Research, a biannual scholarly publication that promotes academic research for the purpose of molding better science practitioners. Dr. Paul completed postdoctoral. Hello.
Kindly continue.
Okay, sir. Dr. Paul completed postdoctoral studies at Christ University in Bangalore 2019, conducting research on development-induced displacement and marginalization in Kerala. He has authored and edited 8 books, of which 4 are on development and displacement, published several articles in various national and international journals, and presented papers at various forums related to social work and displacement. His latest contribution to academic exercise is his edited book, that is Global Perspectives on Social Work in Transition, Navigating Technological, Cultural, and Academic Challenges. He served in various capacities like Associate Professor of Social Work, Principal of Arts and Science College, PG Courses Coordinator, Head of the Department, Editorial Board, member of various national and international journals, PhD thesis examiner, and Associate Professor of Practice. Currently, he is a research consultant and Director of Planning and Development of Project in MMP Kerala. Thank you all for joining this important discussion. Welcome you once again.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Nirbhaya Kumar, for your beautiful speech and also introduction about the resource person. Yeah, without taking much time, let me directly hand over the session to resource person, Dr. Norby Paul. And after this, we have one more session today. As per like yesterday, today and tomorrow, we have two resource persons. So two sessions we'll be having. So once a resource person completed his speech, kindly wait, and then we'll give the time for discussion, and then we'll go for the next resource person, right? And today's session was completely taken care by Department of Chemistry and Standard College Manipur under the headship of Dr. Shubharani Devi ma'am. Ma'am will be inviting the chief guest too. Now, without taking much time, let me directly hand over the session to Norby Paul, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, audible.
Okay, thank you. Before we start, I am aware that this is supposed to be an interactive session, and I prefer to have, but we have no other choices because it's not face-to-face, it's an online. Therefore, we need to restrict ourselves within. I'm sorry for that. But before we start, I would like to request you, take a piece of paper with you. On the left side, you write my email ID and my mobile number, if you can. On the right side, draw a line and start writing your questions that you need me to ask, and you want to me to address. Okay, you do that. And then even if you are not able to give an answer to you on this forum, I will be happy to answer your queries later, even through the email or in WhatsApp. That is why I asked you to write down my email and everything. And if you don't have a queries, just strike it out, my name and everything. I have no problem. Okay. Okay then. Thank you. This is my introduction. Thank you, Bennett, for inviting me for this workshop, and also Nirbhai for your appreciation to me and introducing me to the workshop. Thank you. And I think we should start now. The topic I will be dealing with you, review of literature of research articles that should lead to the literature review in social sciences and its research excellence. So this is what the topic that I will be discussing. So before we start, I think I need to speak to you. What is an article review for a researcher? If you don't know the article review, we may not be able to do it in the literature review in later period, because a collection of literature published in research article and journals contribute to your review of literature and further studies. Therefore, my starting point will be review of articles for a research. And I will also like to say to you, almost 90% of my discussion are out of my experience. Though I take some references from authentic sources so that I can validate what I present to you, 90% are out of my 22 years of academic experience. So we will start with what is article review for a research. So before, as we go on, I would like to have you to read this. I think this is audible to you and it is visible to you. This is a research article submitted by someone for a research journal. And the research journal has given such a comment to the author who has submitted it. And the topic of this is enhancing job satisfaction and engage in managing occupational stress of nurse professional, a social work approach. This was the title of it, and this the reviewer has given like this. The abstract sounds good, but it has not done justice to the topic. The word social work, that is a keyword, is not found in the abstract. It speaks of study, and the whole body of the text does not speak of the study. It speaks of COVID, and noticeably nothing is found on COVID in the article. The relationship between the article and the abstract is very minimal, especially when reading the article title. The author seems to bring arguments that are self-contradictory and without valid sources to support. The author seems to bring conceptual framework, but does not bring comprehensive view of the concept. The structure of the abstract does not challenge the reader to critically reflect on the subject dealt with. Every research article will have an abstract. And when we have this abstract is on some substance of the article, the whole article that you have written and you are reviewing. Now, this is the feedback given to the the author about the abstract. So if you are in this situation, what will be your mental agony or stress that you are? And when it comes to the article inside of it, it says that theoretical understanding is not presented by the author. Every research article is supposed to have a research theoretical understanding. How especially this, since this was on social work or in social, if it is taken from, for social sciences, it has to be on social science theories. If it is sociology, sociology theory. If it is political science, it should be political theory. It should be if it is a migration, it should be migration theories. It should be, if it is in gender, it should be and gender studies theories. And here it says that how social work perspectives are inserted in the theory and dimensions while dealing with the satisfaction of the analysis. Let me say before that, no, every research that we are doing, especially on PhD thesis or any research that we need to do it has to have a connection between theory and the practice, and theory and conceptual framework, theory and variable dimensions. That we will discuss it later. And while dealing with the relevance of human resources, the author could have reflected it as a specialization of social work. Because for me, my understanding social work, HR is the specialization. Now it has not dealt with it. The approach of the social work does not provide what approach author suggests. Every author should contribute something when somebody is writing something. Every article is supposed to contribute something. And is it contributing? Though various dimensions are suggested, including studying the root cause is not provided. The author does not differentiate between approach and methods. What points to the author's knowledge in this regard. Reflection on this could have benefited the readers. That means the author even is being challenged. Hello, please kindly mute your microphone. The author is challenged of his own knowledge on what he is writing. It will have the same repercussions when we are writing the literature if it is not sound enough. If you don't have the knowledge, including me, if you don't have the knowledge of the topic that we are dealing with, it will be challenged. The discussion part is not oriented to social work, and every research should lead to a discussion. How the discussion is related with it, we will discuss it later, how the discussion is evolved. But it is not provided. So referencing, every research, every literature review should be supported by the referencing. As far as the social sciences is concerned, it should be APA or no, there are different types of referencing like MLT, Chicago, Turubin or anything. So what kind of referencing you have put it, and if it is referencing you put, have you done it properly? So a critical review again comes in. So the reviewer's role comes over here. Now these points are also for us to look into it. How do we look into the literature in our own perspective? So every literature review, every article that we read should have the following, and though it is a comment to the author. The article needs to have a critical lens to read. What do you mean by critical lens? That means it should be objective that provides the knowledge to the reader, and also out of your own perspective. Have you looked back critically or objectively what has happened, what was the knowledge, and what will be provided in future? Have you and develop a theme in tune with the social work. What is your discipline? If it is social work, it should be a theme that is related to the social work. If it is international relations, it should be related to the international relations. And if it is politics, it should be politics. The theme has to develop in your research. An abstract should match with the content and title. I have seen many people. Let me say, last time when I was editing a special issue of Journal of International Internal Displacement published from US, we have 8 articles submitted, and we after reviewing, we have to just deny 4 of them because of the poor management of the title and content. And the argument should be supported by the validated references. So never go for a blanket statement. That blanket statements means never state anything without having a valid source for you, and you will be challenged, including your literature review that you are doing. So that means your critical thinking, critical lens. And article needs to provide a critical view on the job satisfaction. That is what it says. And it's every research should lead to its own application, the theoretical implications, whether it provides or not. And reference studies have to be present in a way that provide a comprehensive outlook. What is the logic of the research? And then when it is giving this one, and the researcher, the reviewer says, addressing this about this, it can improve the quality. And as a reviewer, I would suggest to revise. And this is the problem with many of us when we are writing an article and when we are doing the literature. So before we start, this is an objective thing that I have put it. So I would like to have you write down these questions before you. This will be the questions that guides the whole session. I think I am not fast while I am talking. I believe I am communicating properly. Is it okay that my communication is proper?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
fine.
sir.
Okay, fine. Thank you. And kindly write down these 5 questions. Why I should conduct a literature review? Where do I find research literature? What is the importance of citations? How to conduct a systematic review? How to arrange suitable database for documentation? These are the 5 questions that you need to look into it when you are doing about literature. And many of us are struggling sometimes with the literature review, where to start. And this is something, difficult situation of this one. So I'm just putting from the literature, I am going back to the article review that I have presented. They're based on these questions. I am putting this one. So if our literature review is based on the articles published, I personally prefer every researcher should not go beyond 5 years. That means the latest you can go, if it is 2025, you should refer latest. It should be maximum of 2022, 2025, not before that, because the literature is evolving. And therefore, what is article review? You should know. Review of the article is an in-depth analysis and a well-structured presentation of arguments that should lead your literature review. And it's a critical and constructive evaluation of the literature in particular field of the particular field through summarizing, classification, analysis, and comparison. So every article we read for our own research, it should lead to evaluation of the literature that we are doing. We are reading it. And this evaluation should be constructive. How can you make it constructive? You can make it constructive by summarizing. What the person is written is summarize it. You classify what kind of things are there. And when you classify it, you make your own analysis and try to make a comparison with previous studies. That is why your knowledge base should be strong enough to do your research. The primary goal is to summarize everything and present clear understanding of the topic that you have been working on. It means everyone who is reading this literature should be able to know you have you should focus on these goals.
Sir, sorry, excuse me. Your voice got cut off for a second.
Okay, this now is clear, isn't it?
Yeah, it's clear. Thank you.
Okay. Sometimes my power can go sometimes go down. If it is going down, you'll have to give me some time so that I can patiently, do something else also.
No
Okay.
problem, sir.
Okay. So every article, every literature that should be focusing on this. It should help you to introduce to the key works of the expert in the field. Every literature should give the reader that you have referred the authorities of the subject that you are dealing with, the experts in the field, and engage with a particular field of science. What is your discipline? That field has to be there, not the expert of the socials. If you are studying for chemistry, and you should not refer somebody as social scientist who is social scientist as an authority in chemistry, but rather you should refer it the chemistry expert into the into the chemistry research. If it is international research, you should speak about international research expert, and defines the significant discoveries and advances made in the field. Find solid references and arguments for your review. Why you are doing it? It speaks about the researcher's voice. I don't know how many of you have heard of researcher's voice. We'll be speaking about researcher's voice. Researcher's voice is something like how you critically look into it. How do you refer it? How do you objectively evaluate what you have read over there, what you have presented? The coming time, we will be speaking about that. Echoing the researcher's voice. Generate some ideas about any further field of research. So this is speaking about the research gap. When you are doing the literature review, that should be able to lead you to the gap that you are speaking about it. If you don't have a gap, how can you do the research? If you don't have a solid base to say that this is the research gap, how can you say that my research is relevant to the time? So gain better understanding of the area and become expert in the specific field. And you should know how to write it. If you know how to write an article, you will know how to write literature. I think that has to be there. And therefore, this will help you to understand what is the existing knowledge and identify the major gap and what is your solutions for that. So if you are looking to that, you should also be able to look into it. Every review should focus on two things. How do you start with it and how do you move ahead? There are two steps that you have to look at it. First thing, define the right organization of your review. That means how do you define it? How do you summarize it? What are the positive points that you have found for supporting your research topic in this study? What are the gaps? What are the contradictions? What is lacking the arguments of the previous authors? What kind of informations are missing? What the ideas his or her is you are going to use it for your supporting your own idea. Identify unanswered questions. That leads to your research questions. Your objectives will lead to the research questions. If to come to the research questions, you need to know what is a research gap. So when you are doing it, you should assess the title. You should know the abstract, what is the introductory part, what is a subheading, what is the opening sentences of the paragraph. Every paragraph should have an opening sentence that should lead the reader to know, to have an inquisitive mind to understand what is it inside, what is going to happen. Read and connect the beginning and the ending piece, introduction to the conclusion. That is the second phase. If that's the case, this involves this one: summarization, classification, and comparison. You should summarize what the others have said. You should classify based on theme, and you should be critic, and you should make comparison. And this involves assessment, analysis, and evaluation that requires the use of theories. Every research should have a theoretical implications, theoretical dimensions. If you don't have the theory to support your studies, that means I believe the study is inadequate and it lacks the originality, it lacks scientific rhythm or the sphere for the study. And it should be relevant to your topic. And start a journal article review and research article review. There are differences. Journal article review and research article review, there are differences. You should know that. Journal article review, you are just assessing the merits and shortcomings of the published work. Whereas research article review, you are distinguished by its focus on research methodologies. It scrutinizes the techniques used in a study and evaluates them in the light of subsequent analysis and critique. So make the difference knowledge on that. I have asked all of my scholars, all who have completed PhDs under me. I would like to ask everyone, if you are in the process of literature review, have this kind of format for you. When you read an article, you should have a summarizing format for you. You should write number. What is the major theme that is discussed? What is a sub-theme discussed? What kind of methodologies and tools used in that study? How the analysis is presented? What are the major findings? Year of the study? That is more significant because modern researchers says if you are referring a study that is 6 years before, that means you are outdated. Thousands of studies are coming out. And you should know, when you make these findings and everything, you should know what is the research gap on this. That is why I said you should use this critique. And then you should also write, if there is a gap, there is a provision for improvement. If there is a gap, there is a source for or a scope for improvement. This improvement will lead your research. So try to understand this. Every article we read, if you write it, and you will not have a problem, you will not have a problem with regard to the finding the right references for you and to identify the research gap and the year of the study and major themes discussed. It will help you. So try to do this. And then from here, I am taking some references to the Creswell. He has suggested in 2005 about how to do a literature review. There are 5 steps he is speaking about it. When he is speaking about these steps, understand these steps are very much significant for each one of us. So how do you look into it? There are 5 steps. If you can write, that's fine. Identify the key terms. Kindly mute your microphone, please. Locate the literature. Critically evaluate. Organize literature and concept map format. These are the 5 things. Creswell is an authority in social science research, especially quantitative and qualitative research. Therefore, is good. This you can find out in 2005. And there are many others who have contributed. Since he is an authority, I just put it. That's it. And now, when you are speaking about literature review, I speak about, there are 2 things that you need to look into. First is theoretical. Second part, empirical. Theoretical literature review is speaking about theories that you are adapting for your study. Empirical research is speaking about empirical studies that are taken place that you are reading for your literature. That is your second part. So when we are looking into the research literature view, we have 4 patterns that we can identify. For this, I also refer to Dr. Laldas, who is one of the social scientists who has spoken about patterns. And I also believe in this. This is something very much good for a scholar to understand where they stand and how they are proceeding. The first one pattern for me is an elementary pattern that this is least preferred by any of the researcher. Here, in the first pattern, the researcher presents the findings of a study by the name of the author in one paragraph. The second paragraph refers to another author, and third to another researcher, and so on. Why it is not preferred? The researcher does not interlink one study with the other. Each study stands isolated. It is watertight compartment. Does not reflect anything. You just put some research. That's it, though it is on topic. The second pattern, after discussing these patterns, I will show you also with example how these patterns are being done, except the first pattern. First pattern that we sometimes, I believe it is done in the master's level, some of the students, I believe. I don't exactly, that you have to refer back yourself. Second pattern is the reviewer refers to a particular set of findings and provides a few references to those contributed to that particular findings in brackets. Here, the researcher says these are the findings with regard to this topic. If these are the findings with regard to this topic, these are the others spoken about it. In this case, he or she clusters the study around one finding about a topic. These are the findings with regard to, these are the studies related to it. Here in this also, the researcher does not compare any two sets of findings. The comparison is missing. That is why I said literature review speaking about comparison. So there is no interlinkage. And the third pattern is the reviewer describes the phenomenon, investigated various researchers in sequence. It can be geographical without reference to any sequence. Is a topic that you are referring to it and you are referring to particular authors and everything, but your interest is to describe the phenomenon, not the geography or any sequence. Rather, you put it your own logic, but does not look into the year of the publishing of the study. And here, the researcher tries to make researcher's voice. That means, how do you look at this? Creating your own logic, this topic. And the fourth pattern is the researcher develop a conceptual framework based on a literature and create a creative logic. You create your own logic. You create your own conceptual framework. And this is the most preferred for a PhD level. And within this framework, the researcher maps out previous research and fits it into a conceptual framework. This will allow him or her to compare and contrast issues, findings, identify the gaps and overlaps and contradictions, and derive methodological implications. Here, the researcher also looked into it, synchronize variables at international, regional, national, local levels of ideas. The question comes in, how do you refer studies to your research? Am I making sense? Let me stop to this, and I am referring to another. Okay, let me have a share patterns. Role of literature review. This one. Okay. Is it clear? Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
If that's the case, I will ask you, all of you, to read this. This is that is why it should be interactive. Try to read pattern 1. I don't want to repeat it. Pattern 2. Try to read this. The researcher, pattern 2 speaks about studies, but sequence is there, but does not speak about it properly. This one of the researcher has done this. See, 2017, the idea is put over here. In 2020, this person is put in another research study. And 2018, no logical sequence has put it over there. The idea is put it. Around one topic, the person is putting over there. And the fourth is putting on 2019. And it was about gender, women interactions on the, about the environmental conservation. I believe this is something, if you can read, this will help you. The person put over here. And the second one, 2020. Idea is sort of over here. Speaks about. Okay. And 2019 comes in. I know that I am rushing, but we have no choice. We need to look at it. I just want to put this one, pattern 2 for you. That is not that important for you, as if you are a higher PhD student. And if you look into this, pattern 3, this is more significant sometimes for you. Try to read these writings. How does this study? The person, just read the paragraph. You will understand the pattern 3. The author found out the authoritative patterns. Whereas, see, in agreement with this view, Rekhi and Paul has put it. The researcher has tried to comprehend it, synchronize it. See, and he has put his own voice over here. Such youth tend to be open-minded, flexible, and committed in serving the community. This is called the researcher's voice. This is a critical analysis. And here, for example, the person has put it, this style has found to be effective in child rearing process. It was determined by the kind strategy that parent chooses. For example, how the person is writing.
Sir, I'm not able to see the document.
All of you are able to see or not?
We can only
the
see
first-
the research
Yes,
gap.
sir.
Pardon?
We can only
It
see
is
the
the
research
beginning
gap
you have
document.
shown. It is not moving.
It's
What
not
you
moving.
started
No,
with,
sir.
it's a
Ah.
research gap.
Sorry.
Only-
Sorry. Let me put it. Okay. Is it moving now? Is it moving now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Maybe. Okay. See this. This is moving. If that's the case, that is good. So this
It's fine,
person
sir.
has put
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you. Sorry for that inconvenience.
Sir, can you please explain from the pattern 2, sir?
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Pattern 2, you put the studies, but does not put the sequences, but you put on the cluster. A theme is there. Under this study, you don't look into the sequences of the studies that is happened. A chronological order is not put it, but theme is put over there. That's all. A special finding. So that is why this person has put it. No, 2017 this study has taken, 2020 has taken. Again, this person has gone back to 2018. The chronological order does not matter for this person. But the finding comes on this, such a formal decision making or something. And 2019 it has gone. So don't look into pattern 2. If you are a researcher, PhD scholar, I don't prefer personally as an examiner or PhD thesis of different universities. I personally believe I don't prefer that, at least on PhD level. Okay. So third pattern, Just read this paragraph. If you can read, try to understand this. This is what I was saying. A logical order is there. He's trying to argue it on this one in agreement. This is a kind of substantiating your argument. Such parents promote desired behavior in their children rather than discouraging unwanted behavior. That was the voice of the researcher, and in agreement, he has referred somebody to agree to substantiate his own arguments. Corroborative studies. And now he is speaking about 2019. And he is speaking now such his own voice over here now. Logical order he is putting. There is a logical order, sequencing, and his own voice over there. Such youth tend to be open-minded and flexible and committed to the serving community. This is his own voice. And he has put the study 2020. See, the sequence happens 2018, 2019, and 2020. But he is developing his own arguments. Sometimes I said this person also will go back to 2018 so that his arguments, he is thinking about how he can validate his own arguments. That is why he is referring back again in 2018, who found there is a significant positive relationship. So he was speaking about authoritative parents use supportive disciplinary approach, not punitive approach, when children misbehave. Who said it? As evidenced by Darko. Here, he is trying to get the support of somebody, an author in his research, and also he is trying to make a valid point over there. This is pattern 3. Now comes the pattern 4. See, this was a pattern 4. If you look at it, see, the person is trying to look into ideological building up. He's not bothered about the logical sequence of the chronology of this one. Rather, he is trying to synchronize thesis, antithesis, synthesis happening. He is trying to put a thesis. Thesis means you have your argument. Here, he also puts a counter argument. And he also tries to put his own synthesis of it, how the things are moving. So here he says social exclusion for Amartya Sen is against the very nature. Therefore, he is trying to quote someone. His own argument, he says that he has taken somebody else an authority here. There is no reason to accept spatial rearrangements. And he's trying to build up. If impoverishment is a looming risk, he says it is something called, is an aftermath of displacement, impoverishment, which Theodore is Downing termed as the creation of new poverty. He is trying to build a new concept over here. And this is, in fact, Madhur has written something. So he is trying to build up thesis, antithesis, synthesis, and putting the researcher's voice, a logical sequence, and contradicting certain arguments, and contributing certain arguments, validating certain arguments, and build up his own arguments for the research. This will help him to get the research gap. So if you read this, it will have, okay, this is what the 4th. I believe I'm clear with it. Okay, let me stop to this one and let me go to the next slide.
Yes, sir. Yes.
I believe this is clear so far.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
pattern 1, 2, 1 to 4 we have cleared now. Now, this slide is moving, I believe. Now, how do you link review of literature with your research? This will, review of literature helps you to identification of the research problem, research objectives, arriving at the research questions. Here the question is, how each study, how you are doing this, how each study contributed key variables and established which area is not studied, and if such area studied, how it is studied. It helps to identify variables mapping, variable mapping, which we'll be speaking about it, variable mapping, which is evident in conceptual framework. Yesterday's first research person was speaking about conceptual framework. I don't know whether you have looked into it or not. This will help you to get to the analytical framework. This analytical framework is speaking about how literature is flowing diagrammatically. If you are keen enough to build your literature in single diagram, that is the key for your success of literature review, which I will show you later. And this will help you if you are able to build up 3 diagrams. One is conceptual framework, analytical framework, third one is discussion framework. How each study contributed advancement in relation to the theory referred, which we will be speaking later. I will show you how does it work. This is called, I think this is visible for you. See, this was a literature review framework. This person was speaking about social disarticulation. He has done the literature on this. His focus was social disarticulation. So what he has done, his focus was developed in this displacement, which was the cause people are displaced. Now what happened? These people are displaced, loss of social capital happens. Here the person also looked into the theoretical framework of the impoverishment risk. It's a theoretical framework. And this person then says, this will lead to this kind of risk. So these are the causes. And this is also social capital losing. These are the things discussed. And then the argument happens. If this happens, you will have these problems. It will lead to this. It will lead to this. Social disarticulation for this person is this. Now, inquiry happens for the person. The research was on social disarticulation. That means social disarticulation happens on these areas. These are the key variables the person was studying. That means one single point, he has dealt all the literature review in sub-themes, and this you have to establish cause-effect relationship on your literature review. I think this is sensible, I believe. If you are able to draw this kind of things, it will be so easy for you to say that maybe your literature review may be almost 100 pages. But within one framework, all of your 100 pages are put in. I used to say, with 4 slides or 5 slides, your study is over. 5 diagrams or 4 diagrams are there, your study can be over. So this is first one. So this, you have to look into it. Here, you need to look into it also when you do this. Whether you are looking for theory, do you have a theory to support your studies? If that's the case, are you going for concurring a theory or disapproving a theory or adapting a theory, particularly in particular geography, a culture and knowledge? For example, my study of PhD, what I have shown is my PhD thesis. It was 2012 thing. So a person said, when people are displaced, there is no social capital loss or cultural loss is not happening. That is the theory. Now, when I adapted this theory into my research, this was my reference of the theoretical framework. Then when I did it, I developed, and my study found that the people are not forced to have a cultural change, rather they are forced to have a cultural adaptation. That means my contribution to theory is that I have adapted new meaning for the research for this theory in a particular geography and culture. So how do you, when you adapt in theory in your literature, are you giving some kind of contribution to the theory? Are you going to defend the theory, or are you going to disapprove the theory in a particular context, or are you making new dimension for the research? Literature will bring in-depth, systematic, and critical interpretation and synthesis of your published work, of the so far published work. It helps you to arrive at a proper research design. What kind of research design? Whether I should go for quantitative, whether I should go for qualitative, whether I should go for mixed method, then you should look into it. This will help you. And what is the current worth and new knowledge that you are going to put in? This will help you. And develop a new model of the existing knowledge and suggest new model for that. It should lead to a new framework. And this will help to identify pattern or trend of research. What are the missing patterns? And what are the trends that are the key areas missing? This is called research gap. Every literature review should lead to this. Am I clear so far? Because I am going to deal with another thing now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. If that's the case, I was saying in my previous slide this word, research gap. When you are able to identify the existing knowledge, a new model, you will have the research question that happens. And then you will have a new trend to understand what is missing. So if that's the case, how do you look into it? What kind of gap that you have identified? Remember about the framework, the format that I have given you about the article review. That will help you to identify this also. So there are 7 types of, basically speaking, there are people speaking about 12 types of research gap. No gap in the research. I generally focus on 7 research gaps. One is evidence gap. Second one is knowledge gap, practical knowledge gap, methodological gap, empirical gap, theoretical gap, and population gap. Okay. You can read this. How do each gap is going to deal with it? I said about 7 research gap. Now you see this research gap. Evidence gap. Evidence gap is speaking about study results are incongruent and do not support the current study. It speaks about no abstract perspective. Whereas the knowledge gap speaking about desired results are not available. Though the research was speaking about is supposed to provide, every research is supposed to bring new research knowledge. Though most of the research are bringing new knowledge, but expected knowledge that address the problem that you are facing in your study or your research problem is not there. So you are finding a gap. Practical knowledge is missing, is there. Professional behaviors, procedures differ from research conclusions or not investigated by the researcher. That means though the findings are there, you have not followed the procedure practically. You are speaking about thematic analysis of your study in qualitative research, but how you did the thematic analysis is missing. An empirical gap. Empirical gap is speaking about empirical testing of the research conclusions or hypothesis. theoretical gap. Developing new insights of the theory that should be applied in a specific research problem. A gap exists because there is a lack of theory. A theory that is adopted by the researcher may not be fit in. The theory that adopted by the researcher has not proved it, or is not in agreement, or disapproved, or is not adopted. So you have a theoretical gap and methodological gap. He speaks about methodological gap. What is methodological gap? Is a vital to use a variety of research methods to produce new insights. Somebody has used a quantitative research, but it would have been good for a research to use qualitative research. And you found somebody used qualitative, you found quantitative research, but you have not found anything related to mixed method. So methodology is gap in some, and then the population gap. What kind of people you represented? What was this, whether the sampling was done or not? Yesterday, somebody was speaking about sampling, what should be the adequate number of quantitative research and everything. And I believe there are easily available formula you should adopt for quantitative research, for sampling. Craig and Morgan's, or there are different framework scientifically proved. So try to adapt that. Whereas in the qualitative, it is saturation. That you should understand. These are the research gap. If you have a research gap, it will help you. And this, somebody has spoken about 12 types of research gap also. This one I have found in LinkedIn. So we are speaking about knowledge gap, methodological gap, theoretical gap, empirical gap, population gap, geographical gap, temporal gap, practical gap, contextual gap, causal gap, technological gap, evidence gap. Just look into it. Whatever it may be, what kind of gap you have identified. So how do you identify this gap? How do you identify this gap? Before we go, I think this is also important for you. I think I have to share something. Research gap. I think this is about a pattern. Yeah. Can you read this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, let me. Okay. If you read this, can all of you take maybe 5 minutes to read this to understand how this person has written a research gap? I can slowly move, I think.
Sure, sir.
Okay. The person is speaking about a lot of studies that he has referred, each the variables that he has looked into it. What is covered by these studies? And another area, this theoretical thing that he has put it over there. Practically speaking, this is my PhD thesis research gap that I have written. I am showing you over there. Now, the person is leading to the question. Cultural adaptation of the displaced have undergone, which needs to be studied. So he is putting his own argument now. So,
excuse me, sir. Actually, the slide is not moving. Actually, only the research gap, the starting is there. It's not moving now.
Is it so? Now, I'm not sharing anything right now, currently, isn't it?
Yes.
No, let me, this is research gap, I believe. No, this, okay. Is it moving now? Hello?
We can see the same
No, sir.
paragraph, sir. It's not moving.
It's not moving?
No, sir.
No.
Something went wrong or
Your
not?
your cursor was moving, but this text was not.
Text was not moving.
Yes.
Okay. Let me have something. I don't know exactly what has happened.
Sir, can you just try to scroll down?
Okay, I will. Okay. First I have to share, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Is it clear now?
It's
Yes.
clear.
Now it's moving?
Regular use में nail की natural
Not moving, sir.
Okay. Even now you cannot see this? Can you see this?
It's the same paragraph, sir. It's not moving.
Can see the first paragraph, sir.
Okay. I think some technical issues there. I think otherwise I have to get out of. Stop share. Maybe I think something went wrong. I don't know what has happened. Okay, we will discuss it. We will discuss it later, maybe on that. I'll have to. I think. Can I go ahead with it? We will discuss it. My PPT is not working or not? Something PPT. Okay. This PPT is visible to you, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Now visible.
Yes, sir. It is visible.
Okay.
Yes.
Now it's clear
What?
now?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Just
sir.
check,
Yes.
just check it. This is moving, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Now, how do you write research gap? Discuss some previous research that is being done. Mention some of the earlier research in the literature that does not address specific topic of the research before you examine the gaps in the paradigm, the proceedings of the literature. There is a spelling mistake. And contributions should be related to the already identified contradictions, gaps, and issues. And then identify, it's not ingenify, identify important gaps. Then write your concluding remark. Whenever you write your research gap, it should lead to the research questions. The gap will help you to the research questions. So this also will help you. I think if you can read this one, this will be also good for you. Time gap, location gap, study gap, research design gap, suggested areas for further research. This is a PhD thesis. Somebody has written how the gap is identified. Why he is going for this study. If you read this slide, first thing, see, this person says, this person has studied, but this one has not looked to the CT. That means cash transfer. And location. It was in Colombia, but not, this is a Kakumaga camp. And this person has this study purpose, but is this union HCR? So make a point that you have identified this gap. This all possible when you fill the framework that I have given you before, the article review format. Okay. Now, we have identified the research gap. We have the literature review happens. Now, I also said in the literature review, there are two parts. One is theoretical part. The other one is empirical part. I was speaking about empirical part. Now, I think I need to also speak about theoretical part. Here, theoretical part, that is to support the problem that you have identified with using certain theories that is existing. That will help you. It can be theory, it can be a model, it can be an approach. That is up to you. Now, why you have to use it? This theory will help you to validate the studies. And this will also assist you explaining research result in the framework of the discipline. You are falling in line with the discipline that you are following. That is, you are, if it is a political science, if it is chemistry, if it is international relations, if it is sociology, if it is social work, whatever it may be. This will facilitate you to inform the knowledge enhancement or advancement happened in the study result. It will also help you develop a purpose, propose new models. When you have the theory, you will either, as I said before, you will concur it or disagree with. You will go for adaptation. So thereby you will have a new model for the new discipline of your discipline. That makes your contribution. And also, every theory, if you are adapting, it will help you to explain the issues and problems of the research that you are dealing with. This will help you. Okay. Now, yesterday, first resource person was speaking about conceptual framework. The literature review and theoretical framework should help you to find out what is the relationship between the variables that you are studying. Every study should speak about the relationship between independent and dependent variable. Independent is that one is causing, dependent, which one is the effect. There is a relationship that happens. So when you are able to write the relationship between independent and dependent variable, you are able to develop your own conceptual framework. That means the conceptual framework is nothing else other than drawing the relationship between the variables that you are studying. One which is causing, one which is affected. When you are writing it, you also should know that there is something which is unknown to you, which is beyond of your comprehension, which is beyond of your control. That is called intervening. So this person was speaking about cash transfer program in a refugee camp. What was the intention of the cash transfer program? You are speaking about it. It should lead to the nutrition security. And it should lead to the quality health care. It should lead to the education. It should lead to the income generation. This person says, if you have this cash transfer program, this was a cash transfer program. Is a cash transfer means monthly a person is provided, if you are a refugee, given money. Hello, please. A person, if you are a refugee, you are given money, a particular amount of money every month, aiming at this for that. The person says the final aim of the cash transfer program is social development. So social development is happening with enhanced resilience and social well-being, improved social functioning, enhanced human capital and development, increased economic stability. So he says cash transfer, independent variable, which is having 4 sub-variables, and he says it has got one dependent variable which has got 4 sub-variables, sub-dimensions. So he is trying to draw the lines over there. Now he knows cash transfer program is happening beyond of his own certain conditions that he cannot or somebody else cannot control. That things is called intervening variable. Is speaking about the government policy, UNHCR policies, social environment and cultural factors. These are beyond of the control. Sometimes it changes. That is why intervening variable, when you draw the conceptual framework, you say that these are intervening variable, they are hidden. That is why if it is intervening variable, when you draw the conceptual framework, remember you draw it with the dotted lines. This will help you to understand this is beyond of your control. This is one way of looking at conceptual framework. So when this person has conceptualized this one, the person also adopted theories to support the theory to his own study. He has adapted 3 theories in his studies, and he has developed these theories, how it is being adopted in his whole literature review, whole study. So he says, my independent variable is cash transfer program, and that should lead to this resilience, well-being, and social functioning. Now, meanwhile, I can explain these independent variable can directly relate to the independent variable, the effect. To that, how do I explain this? How do I support my study? To do that, this person has adapted 3 theories. Here he says he has adapted social system theory. System consists of subsystems. No, he says about cash transfer has got economic factors. So he is using this theory. Now he is also using resilience theory. It speaks about social factors, social change, well-being, and social functioning. These things are explained over here. And he is also using social development model. So interdependence between social and economic factors, social system and resilience. He is trying to explain these variables based on this using these theories. So theoretical framework is well adapted into the theory. And this study becomes very much defensive, and it is an extension of the knowledge, saying that these theories are very good to explain these aims of the program. This means this effect, and it can be explained using this theory. This is scientifically can be proven. So this is how a theory, conceptual framework, which we have discussed before, this one, conceptual framework, is explained here using the theory. I know that this is not that easy, but this is needed for your study. Now from there, we'll move.
Yes, sir. Dear sir.
Pardon?
Yes, sir. Last 5 minutes, sir. Remaining 10 minutes for discussion, sir. 7:30 we have to complete your session.
Oh, okay. If that's the case, okay. This one, okay, this is traditional. Okay, this is a thing. Okay. Now, variable mapping, I was speaking about it. Now, this is very much important for you, maybe. Or maybe this one. Okay, this is very simple. A person who is studying about when these people are marginalized, it is an individual level and community level people are marginalized. So he has got 4 variables over here. Social marginalization happens, psychological marginalization happens, political marginalization happens, and economic marginalization happens. This is another way of drawing conceptual framework. Okay. And when he has studied, he has collected the data and everything, he has written something called discussion. And in the discussion, he says, I studied this economic marginalization. These are the sub variables leading to this. Who has studied, who has explained these theories over here. And this one, this social marginalization, speaking to this. These are others who are speaking about it. And these areas and psychological marginalization, these are others speaking about it. And this one speaking about it, about political marginalization. This happens, marginalization of the austerities. This is theoretically with the data disproven. When this is proven, this person says that to disprove this, or what will be my suggestions to improve this one? My final aim is person is not displaced, not marginalized. For that, a person's well-being has to be taken care of. For that, what do you need to do? These are the findings over here. This leads to, facilitated by these things, you should revisit your criteria and you should have a focus pillars, and this will lead to individual and societal well-being. If a person is having individual and societal well-being, this will be more easy and no more marginalization happens. So how can you improve the marginalization? That speaks about your suggestion framework. This, if you have this one, your study is over. No more discussion about suggestion and everything. So you should have, when you suggest these things, you should have also assumptions like this. So these are the things I will ask you on this. And now let me put over there this one. This is my personal thing. Now I know that you have all these things. This is my new initiative or a group of people's initiative is called a Third Eye. I have been discussing with, literature review, discussion framework, analytical framework, or theoretical framework and everything. What is happening out of my 22 years of experience, most of the research scholars are struggling to get through the research. Not because they have no knowledge. They are not because they are not guided. But the thing is, they are not mentored properly. What we thought as a group of people, we thought we will try to create a platform for the people, for the scholars and everything, to mentor the students. And this is a platform that we are speaking about it. We don't want to do research for you. We don't want to do the literature review for you. We don't want to collect the data for you, but rather we will mentor you how to do it, handhold you. This is what missing sometimes happens. That is the new concept that is being developed by the UGC also, professor of practice, to mentor the scholars. So this is a platform we have created for your guidance and everything. Of course, a minimum amount we will charge, but at the same time, this is not an advertisement. Rather, this is out of my experience, I am saying it. So this is the thing that I would like to have it. These things will help you. We will try to help you on this. So these are the things that you need to look into it beyond. This is called a Third Eye. Contact number is given. My number is given. And also, we will be responding to this. And this is what exactly our own perspective, that if you want to, you can look into it. You can contact us and everything. Okay. So there are differences between literature review, theoretical framework, and conceptual framework. Understand that. So all these things happens, and there are different models to do the literature review, scoping model, and there are softwares for that. One of the model is called Prisma and so on. There are framework that is happening. So if you are doing Prisma, this will be happening over there. So these are the references, and I would like to make it so far about it. So I just wind up now because I need to wind up. That's what the information given by Bennett. So I wind up, and if you have anything, I'm ready to answer within my limited knowledge. If I don't know, I will say I don't know, but I will try to respond to you later if you contact me. Okay. Thank you. The floor is open. If you have queries, let me know. Hello?
No
Hello?
queries, sir. Your knowledge has been gained through the review of literature. The review of literature review you have explained this very well. I'm a new joinee for the PhD. Your knowledge is very well helpful for me to next level of PhD work, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Good evening, sir. I have a query.
I think
pattern.
Should I stop this one, or should I? You can use. Okay. Tell me. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
It's regarding the literature review only.
Okay. Yeah. tell me.
So you are telling preferably the research scholar should stick to pattern 4, which is ideal, and that should be followed. So you are when we are going through that example you have shown, it's not necessary that you have to put the studies in chronological order, but we have to stick to the subject matter, and there should be connection between the things you are comparing. There should be a sequence of things or subject matter which will be connecting one to the other. Is that what you are trying to tell in the fourth pattern?
No. That happens in third pattern. The fourth pattern is you speak about thesis. You have an argument. The fourth pattern also you have somebody spoke about it. These are not the fact, but there is another dimension also for it. So there is antithesis happens. What you need to do is you need to bring in a synthesis of the thesis and a thesis. Two ideas opposing, and you are putting of your own views into it, and then say that this is not done, this is not done. So these are the dimensions that I can adapt it, and these are the dimensions I can adapt it. These are the dimensions not covered. These are the dimensions covered. So using this, I bring my own ideas into it. You got it?
So yeah. So that means you are consolidating the views, and you are concluding that with giving your own ideas. Is that
your
right?
own ideas, but using the theoretical framework that you have used for your first part of the literature review. This is more important. There comes the role of the theory.
Okay. Yeah, in the research gap, you tell about the different types of gaps we have to identify regarding population, empirical, and all such things. Do we have to give the connection, like how you are going to connect that gap or going to fill that gulf through your research? Is it very necessary, or you just identify the gap and leave it?
No, it has to be there. That is why I have given you the gap, this one. And nowadays, you write it, the significant in writing, the document form, you write it. Nowadays, the scholars are also asked to attach the whole literature review you have done within the framework, identified the gap as an attachment, appendix. So that what you are stated is correct or not, the examiner can assess it. It is not enough that you just identify and just leave it. It has to be stated.
So in the sense, the comprehensive study has to be portrayed or drawn in a diagram which comprises everything in a nutshell.
Yeah, because if you don't have that one, how can you say that this is a gap? And if you don't have a gap, how can you do the study? If you have no gap, it is almost like a repetition of the previous study. I have examined the studies like this. And I have even, sorry to say that, I have even asked the person to work on the literature and rework on the whole thesis. As an examiner, in India, this happened. Even in abroad also happened.
And is it professional that whenever you analyze or identify the gap, or if you want to put forth your own views on that, we have to be very diplomatic and you should sound very soft or something like that, or we have to mind our language and something like that?
It should be a research language. It should be a research language, not the political or critical. But you need to be. I will use this word. Be critic, not critical. Use the word critic. It has to have an objective and it should have a subjective dimensions. And when you say the positive, you should also say negative. And not critical means always, sometimes you tend to say negative what is not there. Be objective. And also use a research language. What is the language of the research? Is always be objective. Objective is the language of the research, basically speaking.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much, sir.
And it should be third person writing, not the first person writing. Okay. Literature review should be written in the third person. Everything that you are writing, it should be a third person language, not the first person or second person language. Yeah.
Can you give an example for that? How
for example, you write, Mr. X has identified, or the author has studied. Okay, write the author, not he has,
Okay,
not she has, not they have. Even the language of the research also, we say, when you do make the analysis, we should not say such person. So many persons spoke about it. No, we should say about respondents.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Sir, actually, I have two doubts. First, you talked about journal article review and research article review. In that research article review, you told that this is a critic research methodology based review. But if we are talking in the practical way, what we are getting, the research article, we are getting at any journal or any website, then what is the major difference, or how we can differentiate in the simple way?
See, research article always speaking about secondary or primary data that you are speaking about it. Here, research article review, your focus is very clear that you want to do the research on this topic, and the methodology is very clear. Have you focused on the methodology? See, what kind of methodology is used? Research article always speak about the research. It's speaking about methodology. It speak about procedure. Whereas in the general article review, whether procedure followed or not, you are not worried about it. Your concern is not worried. You are not concerned about whether the procedure is followed or not. You are speaking about the quality of the article sometimes. Whereas a researcher, you should critically think the methodology, the procedure has followed or not.
And
without having a procedure. Yeah.
Okay, sir. One more doubt, sir. You told about that patterns of literature review very precisely. But as an early stage researcher, I want to know which pattern I should adopt among those.
You should adopt fourth pattern.
Fourth one, for synthesis of data.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
If you are able to do that, I'm so glad.
Okay,
I'm so glad that.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. And thank you so much all the participants for the good interactive session. And
Yeah,
now without
thank you.
taking much time, let
Sir.
me invite Dr.
Thank you,
Subbarani
sir.
ma'am.
Wonderful. Give me a
Sir.
session.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you very
very much,
much.
sir.
And if you
Hello.
have, wait, please.
Hello.
If you have a queries, you can write to me, email, or you can do the WhatsApp over this number or this number. And this platform is for research mentoring. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay.
Sir, please share your PPT to the group.
No, I will not share the PPT, but I will share my notes, because sharing PPT, it involves certain research contents of my scholars even.
Okay,
You understand?
you remain some point to discuss.
Yeah, that is why no problem. I have you can contact me. I will help you, but I will not share the PPT. Sorry for that, because it has involved certain data.
Okay.
I have shared my note already to Dr. Bennett, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. If you want, I can share even now.
Yes. Okay. No problem.
Yes. Over to you, Subbarani ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, sir. Good evening, everyone. And introduce about the resource portion of the second session. Dr. Muhammad Said Ali is an accomplished academician with over 9 years of experience in the finance and accounting, currently serving as an assistant professor at Bhushan University, Hyderabad. He has a strong background in teaching and research with expertise in the areas such as business statistics, financial management, and behavioral finance. Dr. Ali holds a PhD, MBA, and MCOM from Jamia Millia Islamia, New Delhi, and a BCom honors from Ramanujan College, University of Delhi. His academic contribution includes 8 peer-reviewed research papers, a published book, and several chapters in edited volume. He has also been an active participant in conference, delivering talks, and presenting a paper on various aspects of finance and investment behavior. In addition to his teaching role, Dr. Ali has contributed significantly to the academic administration and student development, having served on various committees including NAC, IQSC, and the Placement Cell. He is also a co-project director of an ICSSR project focused on financial inclusion in India. Dr. Ali is a life member of All India Commerce Association and has cleared UGC GRF in commerce. His commitment to education is driven by a desire to improve living standards through knowledge dissemination and to distribute to the socio-economic development of India. I also take this opportunity to thank all the participants for your active involvement and commitment to learning. With that, let us begin today's program with great energy and curiosity, wishing you all a fruitful day of learning and interaction. Thank you. Sir will talk about the topic hypothesis to analysis statistical technique for research. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much. Am I audible first?
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for your warm and welcome. And it is my pleasure to be here in this international workshop with 260 participants. So this is very thankful to Bennett and Kishan ma'am, to you that you give me this opportunity to present, to give me lecture on this hypothesis testing and statistical analysis. So first of all, good evening to every participant. I know that already you people have gone through 1.5 hour long lecture, but yes, I will try to make it more practical so that it will be not boring and it should be very interactive and comfortable to you people to understand this hypothesis testing. So I am going to deliver my lecture is some mathematical understanding or the statistical part, how this data we are analyzing it initial stage. So because my topic is related to just beginning part, so I'll discuss some basic understanding about data and how it is going to be analyzed. So let me share my screen. Is it visible? PPT?
Yes, sir.
Sir, your voice is very low. Can you talk a bit louder or?
Yeah, I can speak louder also. So this is my PPT, which I'm going to deliver on statistical analysis and hypothesis testing. So in the introduction part, I will give you the some basic content about the data analysis technique, tool, data technique. So the initial few slides are very generic. So I will go little faster. Then at the time of hypothesis testing, will stop somewhere. So this is what is data and how we are analyzing it and why we are analyzing it. So the main reason behind is to identify the pattern, what kind of movement is going on, what kind of relationship exists between the or among the variables, and what is the trend of these variables. So this is the basic behind this data analysis. We have lot of techniques, but we are going to start from very basic, that is descriptive statistics, which is part of everywhere in 11th class also. Mean, median, mode, this is called center tendency, dispersion, correlation, index number, all these things. Then we move to hypothesis testing. So then there are some machine learning tools as well. Apart from this, there are nowadays people are working on qualitative techniques as well. In between, you can stop me anywhere if you find some difficulty to understand and you want to ask me in between. So you can stop me. I do not bother about it. I do not feel discomfort. So I welcome the question in between also if you wish to ask something. Because I'm going little faster, I have less time and more content I have designed for this workshop. So there are some tools you must be using these tools. This is for review literature, research, presentation tools, manuscript writing tool. I'll talk about this data analysis tool. SPSS is very famous. Everybody knew about it. Apart from this, there are TableView, Power BI, NVivo, Minitab, Excel, Python, Google Sheet, JSAP, R, and etc. number of are there. These are some basic tools, AI tools which we are using. So this is my important part, which I have to discuss. So this data, any data, if you are asking to any people, so that data may be, and that question may be the data, and their data may be categorized or the measure on the basis of following four parts. The first is called nominal. If I'll ask you, what is your name? You will say that my name is Mohan. This is the nominal data. If I'll ask you, what is your gender? This is nominal data. But if I'll ask you little more about what is your age category, that either 18 to 25, 25 to 30, then it means it comprises more properties on the data. It tells you the age groups. It able to relate also that I belong to between 30 to 40 and someone belong to 20 to 30, which give you more property that I am little older than one who is between this to 20 to 30. And the same way, okay, please close the mic if anyone has. If the question is, what is your name? My name is Shahid and somebody name is Mr. Bennett. So this is not comparable, this cannot be related. Neither the reason, neither the age, neither the any other thing. So when the property is increasing in the questions, which is moving in same way in the measurement, just upscaling. So the first is nominal, where any kind of relation cannot be possible. Ordinal, where the lower and higher can be possible. Interval, if the interval is data, then difference can also be identified. If I'll tell you that the after going to my lecture, if I'll ask you what you rate to me out of 10, so someone will say 5, someone will say 7, someone will say 9. So the difference can also be identified. So the property is also increasing. And the last and most and more powerful data is ratio, where 0 itself represent something which is null, which is negligible, which is there no data. If you will give me out of 10, what is my your rate? Your rate is 0. It doesn't mean that I am not going to tell you anything. But if I'll ask you what is your income, you will say 0, which means significant 0. There is no income. So if in the 0 figure there is something important, something may be important. If I'll ask you what is the temperature of Kashmir on last year 15th of December, so it is very surprising, it is 0, and which is very significant that there is a huge winter. But if the 0 is representing nil, nothing, which is the interval. So hope you able to identify this 4 category: nominal, ordinal, interval, ratio. Why I'm trying to emphasizing it? Because all the techniques, whatever we are going to learn today, that depends on all these 4 measurements of the data. So this example can easily be helped to understand you the assigning number. One is participating in the race and the t-shirt number is 7, 11, 3. It is just to identify if the one is running, that which one is above and which one is behind, but it doesn't represent anything. But if after completion of the rank, one is secured first position, another secured second position, another secured third position, but the difference of timing to complete this race we cannot identify. So this is order only. And the third one is, if I'll ask you what is the performance of mine after this lecture, and you will give me 8.2, 9.1, 9.6, which is telling me that the lecture after delivering rating 8.2, 9.1, which can be differentiated between 2 people. But in previous, we cannot differentiate. And the last one is ratio, that what is the time to finish the race. If someone is 0, it means that he hasn't run. One cannot finish any race in 0 seconds. So 15.2, 14.1 and 13.4. So any data, if you will watching anywhere, that may be of 2 types, discrete and continuous. Discrete, where fraction is not possible. If I'll ask you, what is your last UPI payment? You might say that 14.35 and including GST, something was like this. But if I'll ask you how many participants were there, and you will say 260. 260 cannot be 261.5, 262.5, 261.75. So one fraction is not possible is called discrete. One the fraction is also possible is called continuous. Because once the data is analyzing or the technique is implied, this data is also sometimes very important, playing significant role. So these were again the example. If I'll ask you these supplies of the goods, these were the category nominal data. If I ask you when you order, the date is given, it is the ordinal data. If I'll ask you item number may be segregated 2341, 43C1, 43 something. This is category nominal data. If I'll ask you the item description, fan, cooler, etc., this is category. If I'll ask you what is the cost, it is the ratio, because this is the difference can also be identified, and something is 0, which means 0, null. And the quantity, again, it is ratio. If 0 quantity, it means not sold out. And 1 sold out, 5 sent out. So what is the difference between 2 state to sell one the washing machine in Delhi and Mumbai? Say example 50 and 56. So difference can also be identified. So cost per order, again ratio, and months, ratio, date, interval. So same way you can identify. This test, you can understand it. So this diagram which I have created, any data nature may be qualitative or quantitative. So the nominal when asking the name and gender, etc. Ordinal when we are asking the order. In that case, only nominal. This is called non-metric data. If the data have little high properties, interval or more properties than ratio, this is the called metric data. So in other word, this non-metric data and metric data is very important to understand. This plus minus properties or calculation can also be possible, can only be possible in case of non-metric data. But in metric data, apart from plus and minus, multiplication and division is also possible. But all this quantitative data, which is metric data, can also be like discrete or continuous data. This discrete may be of the individual, this may be ungrouped data, this is called individual, and maybe group discrete or continuous data. This discrete is a segregation of the data, classification of the data, and this discrete is the quality of the data. So this is called category data and this is called ratio data in short. So this is the example when we ask what is the gender, male, female, other, this is nominal. When I'll ask income group less than 5 lakh, 5 to 10 lakh, 10 to 15 lakh, more than 15 lakh, this is ordinal data. Will I ask the qualification, schooling, UG, PG. If I'll present it in an order way, for example, 10th, 12th, UG, PG, PhD, then it is considered as a ordinal data as well. In case of monthly expenses, this is 15,000, 17.5. This is called ratio data, which is yes. You want to ask me something? Am I audible?
Yes. Yes, sir.
So, anyone willing to ask anything?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Sir,
ask me.
can you use together simple rendering sample and convenient sample?
We are not discussing here sampling. We are discussing just to measurement of the data. So once we are collecting the data, that collection method is the sampling design part, which may be to whom you are choosing to ask the question is the sampling part. Agar aap random if you are asking to anyone, that is called random sampling. If you have predetermined that or the roll number whose roll number is multiplying by the 10, come to me. This is called systematic sampling. So this is the sampling part, but to whomsoever you are asking and the data is collected, then we are going to process by this way. This data is either, which measurement is this? Is it nominal, ordinal, or interval or ratio? You got it?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Is my PPT visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So I'm talking this ratio data, and the ratio data may be the continuous when we are asking in fraction value also. If someone will say that my monthly expenditure is 15,225.35, which is also possible. But if I'll ask the ratio data, that yes, please.
Slideshow mode.
Sorry?
Slideshow mode, sir. It is not open, sir. It is little bit smaller than usual.
Okay. Stop sharing first. Let me share again. Now, is it fine? This is maximum size of my laptop.
Sir, it's fine.
It's fine now, sir.
Okay. So this is the ratio and continuous. Continuous, why I'm telling, because if I'll ask you what is your monthly expenditure, you may say that after adding all the UPI and cash income, cash expenses, you may say 15,225.75. That's why I'm telling it this ratio data. Why ratio? Because 0 means no expenditure. That's why it is ratio. And continuous, why? Because the fraction is also possible. But if I'll ask you how many students are attending my previous 4 classes or 10 class, whatever. So the quantity of or the number of students who attended my last 4 classes were 55, 60, 62, 48. This is not possible that in one of my classes 55.5 students have attended. That's why I'm telling this is discrete, but ratio. Why? Because 0 means there is no student. So sometime interval can also be the continuous. If I'll ask you the last 4 days Delhi temperature 4, 5, -1, 0. Sometime it is possible -1.5, which means that the interval where 0 is significant, but 1.5 is also possible because it is continuous data. Sometime interval may be discrete only, as I asked you previously, that rate any lecture after attending out of 0 to 10. That is not fraction is required. Either you have to mark 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You cannot mark 9.5. So the fraction is not possible, but yes, it is interval data. Why? Because 0 is itself telling something important data. So once you collected the data and you able to measure all those data, what kind of measurement of data you have, now its next part is to clean the data. By cleaning the data, you have number of options in the Excel. You can do standard deviation, you can do minus formula, you can do number of things or average something. It depends how you are cleaning, but we have graphical way of cleaning as well, histogram, pp plot, and etc. So first thing you need to understand or you have to take care of the missing values. If any data which is not filled by anyone, you should take it seriously. You should fill out by any method. I will tell you, if I'll get the time in the SPSS also, if something is missing, how to refill it. For example, if I visited to first year class and one of the students missed to fill the age category, can anybody say what is the age category of first year student? Though other student, every other student have mark 18 to 20 and 2-3 mark 20 to 22. 20 to 22. So if one student left, so but 75% student mark between 80 to 20, only 25 student mark 20 to 22. So one student forget. So what should be the age of that student? Can anybody say?
We can go for average.
No. Because if the average will be 21.1, then how can age be considered like this? We will consider as a mode. Mode is maximum frequency. Because 75% students belong to the age of 20 to 20 category. So one who left to fill the form, he should be on this only. Got it? So this is the way the missing value can be calculated, can be filled out. So data cleaning, sometimes somebody wrongly mentioned as a age 125. So it is difficult to address that 125-year-old guy, which is not possible sometime. And if it is possible, still we will consider it in some of the category, maybe senior citizen category. If I'll ask the once happened, I was taking one class in the Jamia, PhD scholar, and I asked, what is your monthly expenditure? So the 90% student or almost 99% student told their monthly expenditure between 20 to 50,000.
There was one guy who told me that, sir, my monthly expenditure is 5 lakh. If I have to calculate the average expenditure of my PhD scholar in the Jamia, one guy will destroy the entire data. So what we are doing, we are cleaning it. We considering that guy as a maximum value, so that the data can be analyzed easily. So the PP plot, QQ plot can also be possible. Once the data is collected, now it is important to understand whether the data is reliable or data is valid or not. So data is reliable means that if you ask to me, sir, what is your age? I will tell you I am 36-year-old. Day after tomorrow, you ask me again, sir, what is your age? I will tell you I am 37-year-old. It means I am not reliable. My data cannot be reliable. So the reliable data, which should be consistent the same way. And the validity of the data, many people are, instead of, if there is a stomach pain, one is going to the some neighbor house to ask some medicine or something instead of going to the doctor. And that method, or to collecting the weather, if the neighbor told something and with the help of that your stomach pain is relieved, but still you cannot say that this is valid, because the validity can be identified with the proper scientific method, that yes, one is having the doctorate, one is having the proper degree, one is going proper schooling and college, then only he becomes the doctor. Whatever he is suggesting, that should be the validated. But one who is not illiterate enough in not having any experience, and whatever he is saying, sometimes it happens. So that is not meaning that this data is valid. Now let's move to the technique. So whatever data is collected, you measure the data, you clean the data. Now it's time to analyze the data. Initially we analyze the data through the graphical or chart way. So some of the data cannot be numerically tested. For example, gender, male, female, male, female, male, female, other. So what you will do, you can do just pie chart. You can do just line chart. You can do just vertical, horizontal, as per the case maybe, or as per the requirement of the data. So this is simple example that how much time of weekly, if we are watching it, then we can say that the spend his time in different segment. This is line chart. When line graphically we are analyzing that data is moving up, down, constant, or whatever. This is bar chart when we have three different data, east, west, north, and what the for example, sales. What is the sales of the laptop in east, in west, in north? So this is the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, and this can be represented like this. And the same way, once this is a bar chart and vertical, this is also bar chart but horizontal. So here how did you find your last job? So any data which you have collected, and that may require like this data, like this data, like this data. It depends. Now we are moving little ahead. That graphical presentation you understood by the nominal data only and ordinal, but not for interval and ratio. You can do for interval and ratio as well, but for interval and ratio you have lot of scientific techniques. So why you are moving why you will use only graphical presentation? So for that you should use only mathematical, which is more scientific, more logical, to be proven or to be give some result. So any technique which is available for data analysis, that may be descriptive or inferential. Inferential statistics is also called hypothesis testing. So in the descriptive, you might have gone through everyone in the central tendency and dispersion part. So if the data is nominal, And the nominal data may be 2 category, male, female, maybe more than 2 category. For example, your social category, UR, OBC, SC, ST. Then this way you can analyze the data. The percentage frequency table or maybe pie chart, and this is the percentage mode, the category proportion is available. If the data is ordinal, the order, rank order, you can say that, then median can be calculated. That after delivering my lecture, and my median was 6.75, which means that 50% of the participant told that I was above average, and 50% told that I was below above average. If it is the interval data, once it is interval, it is ratio data, and the ratio data and arithmetic mean is possible. Arithmetic mean is more powerful than other median and mode. If it is the ratio data, then geometric mean and harmonic mean is also possible, apart from index numbers. Indexing is, for example, Sensex. So, for example, inflation. So this is the conclusion of this center tendency slide, that nominal, then mode is applied, and dispersion cannot apply any dispersion formula, dispersion method. But for ordinal data, median can apply in the central tendency, percentile can also apply in dispersion. Dispersion may be of quartile deviation, percentile deviation, interquartile range, mean deviation, standard deviation. These were the dispersion method. In the ratio, everything is possible. In ratio data, everything is possible. Very powerful. And we are moving little ahead, that the data can also be analyzed using tabular form. The tabular may be cross tabulation, and which is possible in case of 2 category data. Now we are moving a little ahead, then you will realize, understand it, this bivariate and univariate and multivariate data. So if you have 2 data, one is age, another is your income. So this way, one is your qualification, another is your age or gender. So this is the 2 category, 2 data, sorry, bivariate analysis. In that time, and you are analyzing through the graphically or the tabular form, then cross table is very helpful to analyze it. The analyzed data by group or category, compare differences. Difference can also be compared. Contingency table can be designed. Percentage cross tabulation is designed. This is the conclusion of descriptive. Entire descriptive techniques are here. You will see here arithmetic mean, mathematical average, positional average, or mathematical maybe arithmetic mean, harmonic mean, geometric mean, and the weightage is also there. Positional mean, median, mode. In the median is the 2 part when you segregated, quartile when 4 part, decile when 10 part, percentile is 100 parts. This is the dispersion when there is a without comparing the data, that is called absolute dispersion method. When you are comparing also, that is called relative method. When you are graphically watching it, then it is called graphically dispersion method. So the range, interquartile range, quartile deviation, mean deviation, variance, standard deviation, and the relative version is coefficient is including, then it is relative dispersions. So if you are running any test, I run it in the SPSS and structured here. This is one of the variable. I found 258 people were there, and their range were like this: minimum value this, maximum value this, sum is this, mean statistic this. Standard error is very significant variable. In the sampling class, you will understand that why this standard error and sampling error is important, because in the hypothesis testing or in the designing the formula to compare from the sample to population, then error in that time, this standard error is very important. So this is skewness, kurtosis, variance, standard deviation, all these data were there. Till now, anyone willing to ask me anything? This is just 11th class part. Now we are moving little scholarly section part. Anyone have any question? Now, my part is starting from here. What is hypothesis testing? Now, just keep in mind one thing: formal statement. Formal statement. whatever formal statement is given by the Prime Minister of India, Prime Minister of any country, or the governor, or the RBI governor, or the state governor, whatever. So this is called formal statement. If it is formal statement, CBSE used to announce that 68% students have passed out this year. Compared to previous year, 93% students have taken admission in the nursery class. So this is the formal statement, and that formal statement sometimes people are challenging. If you have this kind of mindset, this kind of data, this kind of understanding, this kind of your research to question, to test those formal statement, then you are at right place to understand hypothesis testing. So let's understand with the help of 7 basic examples. This hypothesis testing is statistical procedure used to evaluate whether sample data provide enough evidence to support or reject assumption about the population. For example, Delhi government says that the per capita income compared to previous 5 years increased by 10%. So you have data, you can ask to 5, 10, 20, 100 people and just compare whether the income is significantly increased by 10% or not. So this is the statistical procedure. Second is formal method. Sometimes you are comparing the method also, experiments also. Ki by doing this machinery, this way you can produce 1000 units. If you will do like this, then 1100 units can be produced. So that can also be tested. Decision making framework. Sometimes people are taking decision on the basis of some of the qualifying value. Okay, yes, if you secured 60% marks, it means you are first division, you are capable enough to understand the fundamental of those or your class A. So one is secured first division, it means he have enough understanding. So that thing also be challenged. Sometimes tools is also be tested, that the per capita inflation is testing using WPI. WPI itself is changing. That why you incorporated all those variables which is not significant by increasing their price or decreasing their price. But yes, that can also be tested. Logical reasoning can be tested on the basis of null and alternate hypothesis. Quality assurance, that if I manufacture 100 units, then this group of people wasted only 5 units out of 100, but that other group of people are wasting 7, 8, 9 10 units, 9 units, 10 units. So that can also be tested using some of the hypothesis testing. Learning tool, by teaching this way, by teaching pen copy way, but board duster way, that can also be tested, which give more output. So these were these different types of hypothesis. But yes, hypothesis may be of 3 types on the basis of C.R. Kothari. Research hypothesis, when broad prediction is required. For example, older workers are more loyal. Substantive hypothesis, when theory given by relationship, some of the theory is giving some of the relationship that can be tested within broader theory. And the last is statistical, which is the mathematical form, as I told you, and I'm going to discuss this statistical hypothesis as well. All the statistical hypotheses may be of 2 types, null hypothesis and alternate hypothesis. Null hypothesis means negate the general assumption. As I told you that government of Delhi told that inflation is reduced by 10%. So you can reject this null hypothesis. So by rejecting this null hypothesis, you can challenge it. That rejection of rejection this null hypothesis. And the alternate is same as it is previously. So all the hypothesis testing may be of 8 steps according to Ken Black method. This is called HTAB: hypothesize, test, action, business. And this 8-step approach is followed. So the step 1 is, I will tell you this later on also, that you should know the clearly what is your null hypothesis, what is your alternate hypothesis. Then you should determine the which test is the applicable. I will tell you later on how to identify which test is applicable. Set the alpha. Alpha is called significance level, that how much you willing to accept that your answer can be wrong. Rejection, your error can be there by your method, by your technique, by your understanding. The error chance is there. That is also called type 1 error. The decision rule can be calculated. They reject, do not reject, accept, do not accept, and the proportion of this. So data should be collected, analyzed through the technique, whatever you determine, and give some statistical conclusion. Then business implication at last, if you have some business data, then you can do it. So all these 8 steps may be of 4 tasks. All these 8 steps may be of 4 tasks: establishing the hypothesis, conducting the test, statistical action, business implication. So the null hypothesis, alternate hypothesis, this is your first part. Second part, which test is to apply, what is your alpha, means type 1 error, what is the decision rule. What decision rule is normal when the p-value is less than 0.05, it means reject the null hypothesis, or if the calculated value beyond the table value, then also reject the null hypothesis. Data, which kind of data you have, nominal, ordinal, or whatever, analyze it once you are running the test. Graphically, you can check every data, conclude it, whether you rejected or do not rejected, what is the business impact of it. So this can be graphically see like this. Once you are having any question for the hypothesis testing, you can write your steps of hypothesis testing. You can draw this diagram also. This is the Z test value. This is rejection area. This is the non-rejecting area. And the null hypothesis mathematically can be write as mu is equal to this. Whatever, see, for example, if government says that now per capita income is in Delhi is 45,000. So I am asking to 100 people, what is your monthly income? And the average is, for example, 35,000 or 46,000 or 32,000. So my null hypothesis is there is no significant mean difference. This 35,000 and the 45 what the government say. And the alternate is always possible, that as the government said that yes, average income is increased significantly. So that is mathematically null and alternate hypothesis. This is the rejecting, non-rejecting area. And this area, if the calculated value come under this, it means you are not rejecting. If you go beyond this cutoff point is 1.96, this cutoff point is minus 1.96 as per the Z test. If the test is Z and the value is calculated, which is 1.98 or 2.5, it means this value is rejecting area. So you should reject the null hypothesis. It means null hypothesis that mean is equal, you are rejecting it. No, this is not equal. So rejection of true or rejection of null hypothesis. So this case, when you are comparing it equal or not, then this is called two-tail test. Both sides can be rejected. But if your testing is like this, yes, significant increase the average income. So you are testing only increasing part, not decreasing, increasing part only. So this is called one-tail test, one-tail test. And this one-tail test can be write as mu less than equal to mu and mu greater than equal to mu dash, what the government has suggested. To understand this, because type 1 error is very important and how much error you are expecting it, and the type 2 error is very dangerous. Once there is a type 2 error, it means very serious matter is there. So let's understand type 1, type 2 error. So for example, there is a null hypothesis, something, and which null hypothesis may be true or may be false. As every book generally suggests this example, that if there is a murder and one police caught one guy, and that maybe the murderer may not be murderer. So but the court always run on the basis of that guy is not murderer. So the null hypothesis is not murder. That guy is not murder. And that may be true. H naught is called null hypothesis. This is true that guy is not murderer. and this is false, that guy is murderer. But after listening all the evidences, government reject the null hypothesis. Governments but assume that null hypothesis is true, but it is rejected. If it is rejected, yes, null hypothesis, sorry, not rejected means court say that he is not murderer, and the conclusion is also not rejected means not murderer. So it is right decision. But if that guy was the real murderer and the court says that he is not murderer, so this is rejecting through null hypothesis that one is innocent guy going to be hanged. So this is very dangerous. On the other hand, if rejecting the null hypothesis that one is true and rejected, this is type 1 error, one is killer is going to be removed again, and he may be maybe he will do again and may be not again they are doing any wrong thing. But yes, if one is innocent is hanged, that is very dangerous. And if the court decision is this one rejecting true false null hypothesis, this is called power of null hypothesis, power of hypothesis testing. So this is the funny example that type 1 type 2 error. If null hypothesis, doctor always say no, you are not pregnant, and either doctor is rejecting or not rejecting. But if the false positive, false means null hypothesis not positive and it is positive, one is not rejecting it. So it means that one is not pregnant and he will not be pregnant, but he asked to take care of himself, so there is no loss. But one is pregnant really, and government and doctor say no, you are not pregnant, you can do whatever you want, and she is doing anything which she wanted to do. So this child can be damaged, can be destroyed. So the type 2 error is very dangerous. Let's move to the data part, because we have univariate data, bivariate data, multivariate data. Univariate only one variable, for example, age, income, gender, whatever. Bivariate when have two data, age, income, gender, expense, income. So this two data, and there is a multivariate when more than two variables were there. So if it is only one variable, then this data may be of category data. Category means nominal data. If I'll ask you what is your name, this is nominal data. If I'll ask your gender, what is your gender, this is called category data, univariate category data. In that category data, no test can be applied. No test can be applied, except graphically you can check out. But if the data have 3 or more category, for example, your social category is you are OBC, SC, journal in any organization, and I want to test that each proportionally equally in this organization or not, this is called goodness of fit data. So that test can be take place with the help of chi-square test. Let's move to the ratio data. Means you ask 12th percentage marks out of 500 marks, income, expenses, whatever, and that data may be of not normal and normal. I will explain later in the next slides onward how the normality and not normal can be understand. In the basic part, you should understand any natural phenomena is normal. Any natural phenomena is normal. Any natural phenomena is normal. So we are testing whether the data which we have collected, which is the natural phenomena, or as it is the natural phenomena or not. So the if the data which we have collected is normal, it means we are lucky enough that we can test all those tests which is called parametric test. But if it is not, then we have to move to the non-parametric test. Non-parametric tests are more questionable than parametric test. People statistician always be tested on, always be the questioning. But yes, in case of parametric test, less question will be there and less more acceptance will be there. But in case of non-parametric test, this which has less reliability than the parametric test. But if the data is not normal, you can either go to the graphical method just to check the pie chart, histogram, and etc. And you can also test this goodness of fit test. But if it is normal, then one sample t-test is applied. I will help you to understand this through the SPSS as well. Now, hypothesis test may be or two, as I told you, this parametric test, non-parametric test, or non-parametric test apply where data is not normal. One sample, two or more sample, and these were the testing name. You don't need to learn it. I will tell you later. And parametric test, this is one sample, more than one sample, independent, paired. I will tell you, help you understand all these things. So let's understand what is normality of data, where data is having normal distribution. This method is given by the Gaussian. This is called bell-shaped curve. Or can we say normal distribution? Data is always symmetry. Symmetry means left and right is always equal. If you will cut from the middle, जैसे आप शीशे के सामने, if you stand in front of the mirror, whatever you are watching, that is called symmetry. What I am, what is looking, it is the same. It has some property that mean median mode is equal, and which has one graphical presentation as well. You will see this diagram. This is the data. If you will make the histogram of it, you find that the mean value in between, mean, median, mode, all the three values in between. If you will calculate its standard deviation, you will add this standard deviation in the mean. You will reach to here. You will less the standard deviation from the mean. You will reach to here. And this proportion of the population and the number of data, or the proportion of data, percentage of data which you covered is 68.27%. If you will multiply the standard deviation by 2, then add in the mean value, then you will reach to this position. If you will multiply the standard deviation by 2 and minus from the mean value, you will reach to this. And from here to here, the value is 95.45% proportion or percentage of the observation. And if you will multiply by 3, you add it, less it, you will get 99.73% population. So test normality can be tested using QQ plot, box plot, histogram, skewness, kurtosis, Shapiro-Wilk, and one sample KS test. KS means Kolmogorov-Simron test. I will help you. I will show you KS test as well. So this is QQ plot. All the values are lies on the straight line, which shows that it is data almost normal. This is called box plot, that these variable 21 respondent and third respondent and fourth respondent are lie from the beyond the limit. In the second data also, this is below 25, this is 25 to 45, this is more than 45, and respondent 21 is beyond the Q1. Respondent 3 is also beyond the Q1. Respondent 4 is also beyond the Q1. Here, respondent 25 beyond the Q1. So all the data should lie in between. Here also, many data is lying. This is minimum value, maximum value, Q1, Q2, Q3. This is median part. Median part. All the data should lie in between here, except these were the outliers. You can do the histogram as well, and you will check that this is lie as a bell-shaped curve. You can do a skewness test as well. You will see that this median is always lying in between. Median is always in between. But if negative is skewed, the mean is little downside. If it is positive is skewed, mean is downside. Mode is always highest peak. Kurtosis, all the data is symmetry. This all the three data is symmetry. But only this data, this middle one, where kurtosis value is 3, there is a formula. If Karl Pearson's formula, accordingly, if the value is 3, which lies here, and if the kurtosis is 3 and which lie like this, where the property of normal distribution will apply, this property. So this property can apply in the skewness when it is 3 only. By visible, you will see that all the three data is bell shape and symmetry. But irrespective of bell shape and symmetry, this is not normal until and unless this should apply the property of mean, median, mode is also equal, property of normality. So the in conclusion part, you will understand this parametric and non-parametric test. If one variable, two category between subject, so this independent test, that on you will see this diagram also more easily, where you will understand. Chi-square test UR, SC, ST, OBC. So this test can be applied, homogeneity of variance when the data is varying and whether this variation is equal or not, independent of data. When one data is, you easily see that which is totally independent to others. For example, that male and female working, their marks, you will see that male and female may have a significant difference. So the test of independence may be applied when the data is not normal. Now we are moving to the bivariate data when two variables were there and the both is category. Category means either nominal or ordinal data. When one is category, one is ratio. This is very important. This is called ratio, hypothesis mean testing. And one both is ratio data. If one is both is category, then cross tabulation by graphical presentation or test of independent, I told you previously. In case of ratio data and the data is dependent and independent, simple. Let me help you to understand this dependent sample. If I'll ask you any name I want to see, just to, for example, this Alam and Elias Ahmed, 2-1 there. So if I'll ask Alam again and again, same question. Alam, what is your, after attending this session, I took 10 marks test and Alam able to secure maybe 15 marks. Out of 10, maybe 8 marks. Again, one session is also conducted. Again, same type of question is given and he secured 9 marks. Again, same type of question is given. So if the respondent is same and asking 2 times the same question, same type of question or same type of assessment, this is called dependent sample. When this respondent is different and asking 2 different questions, means, Alam, what is your income? What is your expenditure? So this question, if you will ask, this is called independent sample. So the same respondent asking twice the same type of question is called dependent sample. If it means that if the 30 is the one point and another is also should be 30, because same guy asking twice. Audible now? Am I audible?
No, sir.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, but the presentation is
Can
not
anybody
seen
say,
anymore.
am I audible or not?
Audible, yes, but presentation is not there. We can hear
Okay.
you, but we cannot see the
Let me share
presentation.
you again. Now visible presentation?
No, sir.
No, sir. Not yet.
No, sir.
Yeah.
It's visible.
Now it's visible.
Yes, sir.
Now visible, sir.
Now visible?
Okay, sir. Okay,
Yes, sir.
now.
Sir, we can't hear you.
Sir, sound is not clear, sir.
Sir, it's not audible.
I think some network connection is.
Sound is not audible.
Now visible and audible.
Yes.
Yes.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I think my internet fluctuated. That's why it happened. In between, you can stop me if I'm not audible or somewhere. So I was discussing this ratio data. Bennett sir calling me. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Audible.
Sir.
Audible, sir.
Audible, right. Okay. So my data, I was discussing this when both data is category, when one is category, another is ratio, when both is ratio. When both is ratio, then sample may be dependent, may be independent. Dependent when we conducted 260 student, one test. After this session, one more session if I took, and the same kind of question I asked again, the marks would be 10, 12, 17, 18, 20, 21, 22 out of 30. And the next time it is 15, 30, 17, 18. So this, if 260, the both the data should be 260. But in case of independent sample, see, for example, in the year 2021, 22, 23, 24, any year advertisement may be 0, but the sales would be there. You will not find out of 10-year data, all the 10-year advertisement is there, but sales would be there. So the both is not equal in case, may not equal in case of independent sample, but the both data, number of data should be equal in case of dependent sample, in case of bivariate series. You got my point, everyone? Dependent, independent sample. Okay. So if that independent, both the sample is not normal or one is not normal, then we will move to the non-parametric test. Here, this is called sign rank test or Wilcoxon. I will tell you, I will show you in the SPSS. But if both the data is normal, then we can use pair t-test. So the first, when the data is normal and one sample data, then we use one sample t-test. When bivariate data and independent sample data and both the data is normal, then we are moving to pair t-test. There is a one more t-test that is called independent t-test, which is part of category plus ratio. So
Excuse me, sir. Sir, it's now time to conclude your PPT. It's now time to end up. It's almost 8:33.
How much time can I take?
You just
15
conclude it.
minutes? 10 to 15 minutes at least. I want to show the SPSS in this calculations part. Just 10 minutes.
Okay, sir.
So this diagram you can help to understand with. I will share this PPT to you. You can check it out. Let me go to the SPSS part. My SPSS is visible to everyone?
No, sir.
No?
No, sir, and sorry, like it would be difficult to continue the session beyond a point, I think.
No, sir, it is not visible.
Okay. Now visible? Just I will take 5-10 minutes.
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Yeah, now visible,
It's
sir.
visible.
Visible now. So this is original data of PhD. So let me share new page. This is my data, which I have created for you.
I took from Excel and copy pasting here. So this is the person. First one is serial number. I will mark the name. Serial number. Another is name. Once it becomes the name. Third is gender.
What you are showing
Gender.
is not audible. It's not visible, I think.
The new sheet is not visible, sir.
Okay, new sheet.
Yeah, you are trying to put it variable view, but variable view is not visible.
No, I got it. Now it is visible, I think.
No, it's not visible. It's not visible.
No,
Something
it disappeared.
now it's visible. That's it. Now it's
visible.
Yeah, visible.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So gender you can label through by given this code. 1 may be male and 2 may be female. Once I coded here, and now this Excel sheet I am converting one formula using 1 2. Just Excel sheet, Control H. Male may be replaced by 1 2 all in the selected column, and the female maybe by 2. So now I'm doing copy paste from here, and I have included prefer not to say also. Prefer.
Sir, the editing you are doing is not visible, right?
Yeah, I know. This is Excel sheet, so I'm just copying and pasting here by converting, because this formula will not work in the
Sir, we
SPSS.
can't understanding this.
Okay, you see now. This is your male female column. This 1 2 I have converted male female converted into 1 and 2. Paste.
Okay, sir.
This 1 and 2 in the Excel formula. This 1 2. You got it? This is 100 respondent. Now I can code here 1 and 2, and this string is means incorporation of number and data both. So now what I'm doing, I am converted into number, and you can see that this can be visible as a male female. So there is a this column variable 7. After this is social category. After this is age category. After this is position in 12th. Position position in 10th. This is 12th marks. Marks in 12 out of 500. Next is family income, and the last is monthly expenditure. Now you will see that this both data, this monthly expenditure and marks, is the ratio data. So these data can be tested as a normal. This is normal or not. But these were the category data. And this one is nominal. This one is nominal. This one is ordinal. This one is ordinal. This one is also ordinal, because third division is less than 50%. Second division 50 to 60%. First division is more 60 to 75%. Outstanding is more than 75%. Now you can check, analyze, non-parametric test, legacy, and here
one sample k-test can be applied. So I am testing this 12 marks here, and normal I have marked it tick. So this will tell me whether this data is normal or not. The null hypothesis of this one sample t-test is data is data is normal, and we reject the null hypothesis when p-value is less than 0.05. Here, this p-value is 0.6, which means that null hypothesis is not rejected. So if it is not rejected, we are very comfortable, we are happy enough in this position, in the one sample t-test, one sample case test, that my data is normal. Here, in case this is normal data, we can apply one sample t-test data. Let's check whether all the students have secured good marks or not. So what I tested this marks 12, whether the student have as CBSE told us that our students secured more than 55% marks. So in my case, I am testing whether the students are significantly different from 55 marks or not. So go to analyze, compare mean, one sample t-test, and 12th marks. So I'm testing with 55. So this is marks. So the 50 out of 500 and 55, maybe 60%, 300. So I'm testing this value because you will see that the value would be 485, 251, 346 out of 500. So I'm testing it whether the respondent are significant different from 300 or not. This is two-tailed test. So okay, and the test value is here. Tested value is 300, and the p value is t value is 0.5, which is greater than 3 almost. So we can say that, and the p value is this 0.05. Now the null hypothesis for one sample t test is there is no significant average marks from the 300. Now the null hypothesis is rejected. As I told, no significant difference. I said no, rejected. It means significant. That student have secured very much different than 300 marks. That 300 may be of maybe higher, maybe lower, because we tested double two-tailed test.
Sir, the final outcome is not visible.
New this open, that's why. This is my final outcome. Now visible? This is my final outcome.
Yes, sir. Now it is visible.
This was my previous test, 0.6 p-value, which telling that data is normal, as we are not rejecting the null hypothesis, and the null hypothesis was data is normal. And this test here, you will see that p-value is 0.00, which means less than 0.05. It means we rejecting the null hypothesis, and the null hypothesis is average marks is almost 300. But yes, we are rejecting it. Our student, our 100 student may be getting more than 300 marks or maybe less than 300 marks. How we computed this value? Mean value is 345. So we can say that our 100 student significantly secured more than 300 marks, as our student average marks is 345. You got it? So I'm running this t-test also, independent t-test with the male female. Analyze, compare mean, independent t-test. So the same 12th marks I am checking whether the male and female are getting significantly different or not. So analyze, compare mean, independent t-test. So I am testing with 12 marks to gender, male, female. Male, female, I have given category 1 for male, 2 for female. Okay, you will see the result in the given output. Is it visible? Output. Is output visible or not?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Yes, visible. Now check it out. See, the variance is equal assumed and variance is not equal assumed. So the Levin test of equality of variance, F test is 0.175 and significance value is 0.675. So this is the Levin test which help to understand the value of mean, the variance of the Levin is equal or not. So the Levin is telling me or help to understand the homogeneity of the both the data. If the homogeneity of the both the data is almost same, so this test is very good. If all it is not almost same, so this test can also be tested. But yes, many authors say that this test is robust, irrespective of Levin test apply or not, you can run the independent test. But yes, Levin test is the null hypothesis is homogeneity of variance. Variance is equal. So the p-value is greater than 0.05. Yes, variance is equal. Now, if variance is equal, you will check this p-value. This p-value is 0.2. 0.2 means greater than 0.05. It means we are not rejecting the null hypothesis. Null hypothesis is male and female are not significant different marks. But this is not rejecting, which means that yes, male and female average marks is different. You can see here, this is 354, this is 334, which means that male are securing more marks than female, and which is significantly different as the p-value here greater than 0.05. Same way, we will analyze the ANOVA test, chi-square test, and other tests. So maybe in the next time we'll get the time, then we'll help you to understand other hypothesis testing, because I am already late and it is very less time to just deliver all these concepts in one class. But yes, thank you so much for this time being patiently listening to me, and I am very thankful to the organizing and everyone to giving me this opportunity, and I am happy to take the query or the questions, whatever you are willing to ask to me. Thank you so much.
Okay, sir. So thank you so much, sir. It's a great presentation, and we all enjoyed the class. As per the protocol, we have to end the class by 8. But anyway, this is a big topic, so we are not able to restrict both of the resource person. Sincerely thanking you, sir. And definitely, we will keep one more session with you in the future days regarding this to talk more about details as well as all the following tests. And dear participants, sincerely thanking you all and serious apologies that we are running. We have taken 50 minutes of your time. But anyway, the education, the knowledge which we have taken from this kind of workshops will never go vain. That I can give you the surety. From tomorrow, definitely we will start by 6 o'clock and we'll be ending the session by 8 o'clock, since we have 2 resource persons for all the 3 days. And remaining days, all the 7 days, we'll be having what was a session with only one resource person, so that there won't be any kind of time clash as well as other kind of miscommunication. So sincerely thank you once again, and sincerely thank the resource person for the day. Both the resource persons, Professor Dr. Norby sir, as well as Dr. Mohammed Shagid Ali sir, both of them have done justice for the presentation. And really, sir, we have enjoyed the classes, sir. So good night, everybody. See you tomorrow.
I'm sharing the drive link. I have posted there 4 important books, which is maybe significant for every participant. And apart from this, I am sharing this PPT also through this drive only. The PPT is also there. You can check it out. So
yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can send it to me, sir. I can forward to the resource person. I will forward to the participants.
Okay. Definitely.